Hello. Welcome back. Hi, Risky. Start with the usual artifact route. Hi, Shika, Shmel, Nakiri. Hello, Zoro. A lot of people coming in right as I start the stream today. I guess the notification is working well, or working properly today at least. The thumbnail for real? Wait, what do you mean? The thumbnail is just Sarissa. Are you asking about the title? There are some better changes today, and I do intend to talk about them and changing my accounts based on that. They are, to my knowledge, mostly minor changes. The change to Alyosha is to his C6, and the change to Odette is to her C1. So if you are pulling Alyosha and Odette at the same time and trying to pull some constellations on them, it's kind of like an equal thing. Of course, I can speak more when I see the numbers.
All right.
So, mostly my speculation is that any team that use both Alyosha and Odette, well, at C0, nothing changed, really. At C0, just nothing changed at all. But if you're willing to pull some Odette constellations and willing to get more Alyosha constellation, then you're gonna have a stronger Odette and you're gonna have a weaker Alyosha. Overall, still probably gonna be the same-ish power level. Unless your name is Risley, and you only want to use Odette, you hate Alyosha because Alyosha heals and Risley does not want healing, then Risley is lacking the change. He doesn't care about Alyosha at all. Yeah, I think Alyosha Z6 is too good. I agree. Now, that also makes me think that Alyosha, even at C6, may have a replacement in the future. Alyosha, it's definitely not as weak as I know, but it's weaker than before. So there is room if they want to make a stronger teammate than Alyosha for the Stellar Superconduct teams. There's room. How much worse is Sandroni with the Yai Miko now? Well, I cannot speak to that immediately. At C0, nothing changed. I can tell you that right now. At C0, nothing changed. Because literally, the change they make this beta is to Odette C1 and Alyosha. Well, actually, Alyosha at C0 also got changed. My bad. Actually, that would make all of the teams that use Alyosha a little bit weaker as well. Gonna make the ceiling of Alyosha C6 weaker, and gonna make Alyosha C0 not that competitive anymore, and we'll just use a different option instead. We'll just use Gigi or Escovia or Nicole. Is Odette good with R0? Oh, I can tell you that her R1 is absolute dog shit. So yeah, she's fine without her signature weapon. Her R1 is absolute dog shit. That's strong words, I know. It is that bad. It's a shame, it looks so beautiful. So if you're curious about numbers, Odette's signature weapon right now, I don't know if there's gonna be any more change in the future. But right now, Odette's weapon, signature weapon is a whopping 3% increase. 3% increase to team DPS. That is the kind of increase you expect from 3 extra substats on your main DPS. 2 to 3 extra substats on your main DPS. That's the kind of increase you expect from leveling up your main DPS main talent by 1. For comparison, Colombina's signature weapon in the Flint's team contributes to, I think, a 10% team damage increase. Yeah, that's right. Crystallize. Thank you. Bring it. Is today help? No, today there will not be no help. The station help will be toward the weekend. The weekend. So Saturday and Sunday. Today we're gonna be yapping about beta stuff, and we're gonna yap about meta in 7.0 with the information we have right now. The new craftable weapon for Odette needs R5. You're gonna use the Fontaine craftable weapon for Odette. Unless you play Sino. The new craftable weapon is extremely weird in terms of its activation condition. It requires the holder to trigger a reaction.
Run if you know what's good for you.
Now, if we are in a team with 2 cryo characters and 2 electro characters, whether Odette is gonna be the person to trigger a reaction is extremely unreliable. So the weapon passive is very unreliable. Now, it's gonna get worse if we play in a team with 3 cryo characters and only 1 electro character. That means there's always gonna be a cryo aura and the electro character is going to trigger a reaction. So the new craftable weapon is giving Odette nothing.
Bring it. Let's ride.
It's only when you play a 3 electro characters, so a Sino team, and then Odette is guaranteed to be the character triggering a reaction, that the new craftable weapon is useful on her.
Skyward, scatter. Let's ride.
Yeah, the Fontaine one is... The Fontaine one is better even if you cannot heal Odette. But Alyosha is a healer. So if you play a team with Alyosha and Odette together, Alyosha can heal the entire team and triggering the Fontaine craftable weapon by Nail of the Deep. Stat-wise, is the new craftable weapon stronger? Yes. If you can trigger its passive, it is stronger. Once again, if you can trigger its passive. Now, if Hoyoverse decides to make the passive easier to be triggered, then it's probably gonna be the best option for that, but we will see. As of right now, as of V3 of version number 3 of beta, which is today, it is still bricked.
Let's ride.
What about new battle pass weapon? It's on field only. I can take a look again because I think they did some change to new battle pass weapon. I can take a look, but previously it was not useful. Here's something you can use though. You can use the free Traveler's 5-star weapon on Odette, and it's gonna be about a tiny bit better than Final of the Deep. We do have a free 5-star weapon for Traveler. The passive is useless, but it's a 5-star stat stick with grit. So it's gonna be a tiny bit better than Final of the Deep. Oh yeah, that I just answered that. I heard that from Lex, they are saying we are gonna get that weapon to level 90, but only R3, refinement 3 in 7.0. Which is actually better than what I assumed before. I assumed before that we can only get that weapon to level 80, which is not that great. If the leg is true, then that's gonna be better. Hello Liloch, welcome back. Slime local legend last achievement. What is it about? I'm actually not aware of what the slime requires. Are we just supposed to kill it very fast or something? Is Skyward Sword good? No. Her burst is absolutely... Well, it's not useless. It is DPS neutral. It's not a DPS loss like Valka's burst, but it adds nothing. So we rarely use a burst. Energy recharge is a dead start on her. Alright, I'm done. Hello Ari! How much damage increase is the new buff? The new buff is for C1 Odette. So if you only have C2 Odette, it's not gonna change anything. I just condense all my resin and I think I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't need to farm the weekly boss today because it's still Stygian farming period.
Add Ash.
I love the F button. Just press F without having to move my mouse. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna condense my resin on my other accounts and then we are good to go to the calculations. Then I can answer more of people's questions regarding how stronger or weaker the characters are right now. Odette, Sheet, V3 of Beta. V3. Okay, what are the changes? Exactly. Alyosha attack buff goes down. How much exactly? Hunter's Mark attack buff at 11.66. Good thing I already automate a lot of things, so as long as I change one of this cells, everything's gonna be changed for me. So 11.66%, boom. And the C6 is also 11.66.
Know of any new orchestral pieces? I like to swap out the background music in the kitchen once in a while. It's a great way to find new inspiration.
Okay, Sandroni team, I think it's going down in terms of damage, right? 157. At C2 Alyosha, it goes down from 157.7, 158,000 kind of, down to 156. Not that big of a deal. Wait, hold on. There's more. Actually, there's more. Hold on. That's not it yet. There's more nerfs. The stellar damage buffs goes down to 20%. Oh, okay. There's more. So it goes down to 154. How much percentage we lost? 154,339 divided by 157,748. We lost 2% of damage. All right. Not that big of a deal. Let's see Alyosha C6.
Astounding flavor. But unlocking that potential takes a keen sense of smell, a refined palate, and...
Okay, Alyosha C6, how much we losing? $184,475. Okay, 1844. What? No, 185526. Compared to what we had
An
before.
important part of cooking is making sure the ingredients absorb the flavors in the dish. To that end, a chef must be able to wield a knife with the same level of precision as a surgeon. Practice makes perfect.
Well, that's a decent sized loss. At C6 of Alyosha, we're losing about 4% of damage, which is a bit more significant. C2 Alyosha, we're losing 2% damage. C6 Alyosha, the entire team loses about 4% of damage. Now, if you would like that in numbers more, then it's gonna be losing about 8,000 DPS for the entire team. 8,000 DPS.
Know of any new orchestral pieces? I like to swap out the background music in the kitchen once in a while. It's a great way to find new inspiration.
There you go. You have your answer, chat. Do you think one should go for Odette if the other one doesn't have stellar conduct DPS or team? Why are you speaking like Shan Yun? I think having Odette will enable you to do some rough, fearless show. If you're willing to play Odette with Traveler for Stellar Superconduct, if you're willing to play Odette with Mizuki for Stellar Sword, it's gonna enable you to play and get through some shield, early shield. I don't think only Odette's gonna be enough for when we are fully into the Snatch Naya meta, when the shield is ramped up, but for maybe 2 or 3 patches, Odette will be enough. Odette will likely be able to just slot into his Skirk's team as a makeshift 4th slot. It's not going to be an improvement, but maybe will help you to deal with some shield. Non-Yai havers are forced to use Alyosha. Yes. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Okay, so let me help you by doing this. This is not gonna be a very formal tier list, but it's gonna give you an idea. So this is going to be a electro slot in a stellar superconduct team with a cryo DPS, okay? Electro slot in SSC team with cryo DPS, okay? I should make another one. Man, I hit that. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna retype this. Well, alright, whatever. I'm so stressed with this. There we go. Electro slot in a stellar superconduct team with cryo DPS. This can be Sandrone. This can be Traveler in 7.0. This can be Risley. Well, I guess for Risley it's gonna be slightly different. There we go. Good enough. Good enough. Where's the woman of the hour? There we go. There we go. I should make a distinction. I should make a distinction between Alyosha C6 and Alyosha non-C6. How do I make this distinction? This is Alyosha non-C6, alright? Don't worry about it. This is Alyosha non-C6. This doesn't have to be a formal thing. If I really want to do it, I will have to download some pictures and I'll have to create some picture that says non-C6 or C6. It doesn't matter. This is Alyosha non-C6. Okay. What else do we have? We have Beidou. There we go. We have Fischl. What are the other electro options we have? Who are even electro around here? I guess. Sure. Lamau. That's it, right? Fine. No shit. All right. Auron, right? Auron. Okay. There you go. I can do this. This is gonna be better. Electro. That's everyone. Alright, there we go. Now select your electro slot in your Sandrone or Cryo MC team. Just go top down. The characters in the same tier are not really ordered, so it's kind of whatever. But go top down. Yamiko, Yamiko. Alyosha C6, alright. Alyosha C2. Alyosha C0, here. And everything else. Beidou C non-C6, Beidou non-C6 will be here. Beidou C6 will be here. You know what? I may be a little bit too harsh on Beidou C6. Beidou C6 is here. C6 only, okay? Now, if you already have your only electro slot, and if you... that is the only electro slot, but if you want 2 electro character, you can go with this and plus this. You can go with this plus this. You know what? Beidou's not that... oh, come on. Yeah, fine, whatever. You can go this plus this. You can go this plus this. This plus this. This plus this. Once again, this is Alyosha non-C6. What is its melody? Witcher 3 Blood and Wine to Sane ambient music. Hi Dinav. What do you do with C1 Risley? Play him. And then grab C2 Risley. In the future, maybe, perhaps, if he goes into the constellation selector, he's good. C2 Risley is hella good. Well, okay, my bad. You don't want Yamiko. C2 Risley is kind of nice.
Add Astro.
Grind, yes. Let's alter a few things too. I want to make the change to C1 Odette. Where's C1 Odette? Talent data. Odette. Where's the C1 hit? Here we go. This is 300. And this now becomes 450. That's decent. That's decent. Makes her C1 a little bit less. So. Wait a minute. Oh, wow. Okay. I just realized Alyosha C6 is not that much better than Escovia. Alyosha C6 is like what?
Throughout the land, and all things are made
3% better than Escovia?
This is an auspicious era for humanity.
You know what? Just don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. Don't even bother getting Alyosha C6. Goddamn. Yeah. A dedicated, quote-unquote, dedicated support just to be 3% better than a character does not even have a dedicated kit to be in this team. Escovia stuff is not even enabled fully in this team. That's 179. This is 185. Alyosha C6. don't even bother getting Alyosha
The
C6.
secrets of the mechanical arts are too profound to convey in a few simple words. Oh, but why must the listener grow weary whenever I begin to divulge them?
Now, once again, if you don't have Yaimiko, you're stuck with Alyosha. So you don't have that luxury. Because you need an electro character in a Stellar Superconduct team. That makes me think. That actually makes me think that there is likely gonna be a limited 4th slot for Sandroni team that's yet to come. Perhaps that's gonna be in the form of another electro support limited 5-star. Perhaps that is Saritsa being the last slot in Sandroni team.
Be silent. Close your eyes. To dust.
Okay, how strong is Odette C1? How strong is Odette C1? C1. Okay, that's pretty nice. 11, almost 12% damage increase is nice for a C1 support. Now, how much is the C2? C2 is the big one. 38%. Okay. This is about as big. Oh, I mean, a tiny bit bigger than Llama C2. Yeah, and her weapon is 3%. Oh, 4%. My bad. 4%. Last slot? You mean replacing Alyosha? Yes. Alyosha C6 is barely better than Escofia. Escofia is not even a dedicated support. Why am I farming this again? Wait, why am I farming this again? Oh, right, well, alright. I'm so happy right now Miko was a Bitcoin. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think Miko's position is quite stable right now. With Alyosha being nerfed. I honestly think the last slot is likely gonna be Saritsa.
Close your eyes. Observe.
Or are they gonna release a different character for that last slot?
Close your eyes.
Are they gonna do that? Valerie can be a support electro character for that team, maybe? Nuclear help today? Not today, my friend. We're gonna do that over the weekend, so Saturday and Sunday. Today we're yapping about meta and all the changes in beta 7.0. You don't have purple stellar conduct DPS, closest C0 R0 Sino. Should you get Odette, you will get C1 Yamiko soon. Let me double check again. Where's my Sino counts? That is going to be a 133,000 team from my counts. I think a few other people have Sino counts being a little bit higher than mine. Something like 140-ish, but around that range. Which is a possible team. You can play that. You can also play Cryo Traveler for a slightly better result. 140,000 from what I have. So I would say Sino. Well, Sino still has his difference to Cryo Traveler. Sino does electro damage primarily, and Cryo Traveler does cryo damage primarily, so you have options. Either way, it's gonna be enabled by getting Odette. And if you have Mizuki, which is a character getting buffed for Stellar Swirl, then she can also be played in a team with Odette. Where's Mizuki? Here she is. At C2 Mizuki, it's also a 140,000 team with Odette. So if that's what you're looking for, a few teams at around 130 to 140,000 DPS level that's enabled by having Odette, that's a value pool. Hello Omar. Alright, welcome back. Many people are saying Miko is getting replaced next patch. Now you can spit on them. Yeah, definitely not next patch. Definitely not next patch. There is a chance Yamiko may be released when the Archon is released. There is a chance. That chance will be manifested in this way specifically. Saritsa is a off-field DPS that's strong, doing stronger damage than Yamiko. And then if we kick out Yamiko, we're gonna need another option. Well, the Cryo Archon will not provide any healing or shielding, so it's more comfortable playing Alyosha as an electro option because he heals. So that's the only way as of right now that I see Yamiko be getting kicked out. Yeah. Basically, this team, but say with a Cryo Archon that is better to be slotted in than Yamiko, and then we want this character because this character heals. I imagine there are still gonna be sweaty people that just plays healer less and put Yamiko in instead of Alyosha. Can I say how DPS would look like if we use a Skirk signature on Odette? Alright. It's gonna be decent. It's gonna be better than some craftable weapons for sure. You know what? I'm gonna use the standard team being a Scofield version. We don't care about Alyosha in this town. Skirk nature weapon is Azure Light. That's the name. R1. Right. After an elemental skill is used, attack is increased by 24% for 12 seconds. No, she has energy, so that the other part does not apply. Okay. Azure Light. Oh my god, what's this actually with her signature? Hold on. Wait, hold on. Final the D. Yeah. Oh. Oh, hold on. This might be a tiny bit lower than before. Oh, 172. Alright. 172. Now replace that with Skirk's signature weapon. Go crit damage. One more crit rate. That's crit damage. should I actually go crit rate instead? Would crit rate be better? Well. 24% attack multiplied by 12 seconds uptime divided by the total rotation of 21 seconds. 1. Oh damn. Oh damn. Interesting. Just making sure. Yes. Okay, final the deep is 173. While Azure Light would be that's not good. It's a tiny bit better. Yeah, 1.4% better. It's 1.4% better. Mostly due to the passive not really being usable. And how much is it better than Traveler's free weapon? Let me double check. Star Edge Saber. This is pretty much the similar stat, right? Yeah. Yeah. Traveler's weapon. Oh boy, Traveler's weapon is actually a tiny bit better than Skirk's weapon. Traveler's weapon is 1.75% better than craftable weapon, while Skirk's weapon is only 1.4% better than craftable weapon. Wait, even with no passive? Oh, never mind. Hold on. Not yet. There's a mistake with the Traveler's weapon specifically. So let me address that. Okay. Traveler's weapon is only 1%, while Skirk weapon is 1.4%. Tomato, really? We're not gonna feel the difference from 0 point something percent difference. So do what you like. We're not gonna feel that difference. Final conclusion, Skirk's weapon on Odette is 1.4% better than Final the Deep, and Traveler's weapon on Odette is 1% better than Final the Deep. That's the answer. That's not it.
If you are presently unoccupied, perhaps we could stop a while at one's abode for some repose and conversation.
Wouldn't mind checking C2 as well for that. For which team? My default team for Sandrone is now just gonna be Yaimiko with Odette with Escofia. That's the kind of default team I have for them. 10.62 37 14. Okay, C2 Odette's gonna be 37% better for this team. C1 Odette is about almost 11% better for this team. %1 increase may not be a lot, but hurts when the enemy has 1% HP remaining. Or then just farm better artifacts. You know that one substat better on your main DPS is usually about 1% better for team DPS.
Defensive mode. Animal tech 63 away. Stay.
Observe. Be silent.
Of course, if you have the weapons ready, use it. It's free. I think definitely no one really is that crazy to pull a 5-star weapon for a few % increase. When you can pull something else that's significantly better. What about 6 on Odette? 4%. Hold on.
Absorption test.
Observe. Be silent.
3.95% increase for her signature weapon over Final the Deep. Yeah.
Animal tech 63 away.
Close your eyes. Observe.
Nice. Okay. Let's spend all of this resin.
Defensive mode. Animal tech 63
I would like something for Varka
Be silent. Fear the dark.
from these farmings. That's nice. Okay, wait. That's... yeah, that's nice for Inefa. Hello, Ali.
Cleanup sequence in it. Animal tech 63.
Close your eyes. Be silent. Fear the dark.
Nothing for Varka, which is unfortunate. I can use this as an okay piece for Columbina. I should be more picky with my artifacts.
Stay clear.
Close your eyes. To dust.
And one more time. Passable. No. Do I think Valerie will be DPS or support? What I think about the characters is, I think it still have not changed from when I look at the trailer of Snatchnaya. I think Valerie is an on-field electro DPS leaning into stellar superconduct reaction. I think Vesna is an on-field Anemo DPS leaning into stellar swirl reaction. I think Denisha is a stellar swirl support. I think the Cryo Archon is either gonna be a support or an off-field DPS character that can work in all of Sandroni team, Valerie team, and Vesna team. The Cryo Archon is likely gonna have an on-field DPS playstyle. I am not entirely sure how strong she would be as an on-field DPS, but the perfect balancing spot would be a tiny bit weaker than the other dedicated on-field DPS. They can overtune her, that's for sure. They can. You really want Raiden, but she always comes at the wrong time. If you want Raiden that much, you would save for her. And for her regardless of when she comes. But I don't think you like Raiden enough. And you always want something else more than her. Let's see if I have an enough artifact in here. Oh, this is already pretty good. Oh, yeah, this is already pretty good. I don't think this matters then. This can be something. Sure, this can be something, but the chance of it being something is very low. One, two, three, four. This can also be something. This can also be something. Okay, I'm down with improving some flints damage. One, two, three, four, five, six. Kind of. It's possible. Okay, let's improve enough for today. So first of all, this is promising. Is it promising enough? It has to go a lot into crit. Otherwise, it's somewhat mid. Try this. One thing and liking is two different things. Sure. That's already not good. It's gone. Well, I'm not gonna unlock it. Maybe it's useful for someone else. What's my favorite old time in this account? Okay, give me a moment. I'm actually not remembering it. Generally, when it comes to my main account, I have more memory of the pieces I have. But we can take a look. This is not my main account. Okay, let's see how this does. What's the chance of it being better? It can still be better. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think that is better. Yeah, we're sacrificing a little bit of recharge for more crit damage, essentially. I am very fine with that. The crit rate is a little bit lower. Oh, holy low roll. Yeah. Yeah, this is so low roll. It's still better though. Have I decided not to pull for Sandroni? That decision is still currently being tabled. What is it waiting for? For me to do the quest and see if I like her more. I think we got like a 0.5% of increase from that piece. Okay, how about this one? It has a chance, but the chance is very low. The chances are now even lower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It can, but it has to go into crit every single time. Nice. Nope. Gone. Is this the same piece? It is the same piece. Good enough. Good enough. Oh, right. My favorite piece of all time in this account. Let's see. What's my favorite piece in this account? Isn't really any piece. Well, I do see this piece comes up quite often during my gearing. It's not that amazing though. Was it a Novelat piece? We can do this. We can go to Alyosha and see if it jogs my memory. Oh, there's this one. Nice. I'll say this one feels nice. Yeah. This is okay. This is great value. I just don't really have any character who use it well. For this account, I think I remember this piece, yeah. It's nice. It's not that, well, it doesn't have its full potential, realize, but it's nice. I like this piece. What do you think of Alyosha nerfs? Yeah, is even more required for SSC? Yes. Pretty much. We can check a team without Yaimiko. How good is Yai C1 comparison part 1? Well, Yai with C1. So if we kick Alyosha from premium team, we're chilling 171,000. If we kick Odette from premium team, it's a rough one. We're at 159,000. If we kick Yaimiko from the team, what are you doing? 150,000. This is Sandroni, Escofia, Odette, and Alyosha. So C6 Alyosha, by the way. It's 150,000. And if we just don't use Alyosha at all and use Yaimiko, that's quite a bit better. What a Nerf piece that San was. Yeah, that was really nice. Well, Nerf does have the problem of overcapping crit rate though. So that piece for me is still a little bit hard to fit into build. This is my main account. I don't know if this is the best piece, but I have fond memories of this piece. Yeah, this one. I have one good pyro goblet on Wanderer's Troop, and I think I have one good electro goblet on Wanderer's Troop. This is what? How do I... Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is nice. It used to be on my Shangling for the longest time. There's this too. It's not as good because it's a 3-liner at the beginning, but... Yeah, those two pyro and electro goblets were kind of the twin of my early on in my account. This pyro piece and this electro piece. Hello, Consolon. I've had them. I have these for a long time. What are the best piece on my main account these days? Does a pyro goblet still hold its place, or is it dethroned now? Oh damn, the pyro goblet is still holding its place actually. Yeah, I do have this piece, which is nice. Yeah, this is a nice piece. Hold back by the defense percent, but it has very high crit. This is also nice. Cause a lot more than chat. For Stellar Conduct, who is better, Sino C0 or Cryo Traveler at C2? Since the start, we won't have cons. Where is it? Wait, did I close the tab? I think I closed the tab. That's interesting. Sessiona. It's wheel of names. Where is the other tab? Oh, that's this tab. Alright, here, found it. So Cryo Traveler is... Well, Cryo Traveler with Yaimiko, with Odette and Escofia. Cryo Traveler at C2, and the weapon at level 90 R3. This is 140,000. And Sino with Yaimiko C1, Odette, Alyosha C2 is 133,000. So Cryo Traveler is a bit better. You still maintain rank 1 Mohuika on the Hex website, right? Hello, Salesbuck. Yeah, that's definitely a feat. I think the competition definitely got the owner of Akasha on his ass, because immediately when the Hexen Circle website is popularized, the owner of Akasha made the leaderboard for Sandroni and Yaimiko. Is my Yaimiko build good? Let's hope my Yaimiko build is within 30%. Let's see. I have not checked yet. I have just recently made a usable build for her. Should you get Columbina, you have nothing in the name of no Luna. If you do not have any Luna character right now, and you are gonna build a Luna team from scratch, may I interest you in building a Snezhnaya team from scratch instead? It's gonna be better. Oh my god, it's actually top... What? Really? I guess people are just not changing the Yaimiko build yet. Not them. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. Is this actually that good? Huh. I guess I'm scamming the energy recharge a little. Yeah, I'm really scamming the energy recharge here.
Instead of confining themselves to the heavens, God should broaden their horizons in the world below.
6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think what happens is people are putting their good pieces on this set on Sandroni. Because I don't have a Sandroni, I'm putting my best pieces on Yaimiko, so that probably is why my rank is high. Best part about Overload Mohuika leaderboard is no energy scam. Any Mohuika leaderboard, really, yeah. The energy scam can be valid in some teams though, for some characters. Like Sandroni, the energy scam is absolute valid, because having a certain amount of energy would allow us to burst every rotation instead of every other rotation. So it should be a different category. But Yaimiko is not a burst character, at least in the new archetype she's playing in. Your favorite piece was your Yoimiya piece with 16 grid red. Nice. Was that all 5 going into grid red?
Absorption test. Show no mercy. Eat Papa. Wrap from the sky.
7 Novelet, 0% Neo Novelet. There is a world with 0% energy recharge Novelet with an energy weapon like Prototype Amber or his signature weapon and the support holding Favonius. So I don't think it's fair to discredit people with 100% energy recharge. Should just be a separate category. If they make their build work, it works. But there are definitely people with builds and playing Novelet in team with non-Favonius. Maybe not even Furina, and then his energy recharge skyrockets, and I think those can be a different category of builds as well. Not good. Eon Zubai is a scam? I don't think so. Eon Zubai is very valid. Generally, I find Zubai at around 110 ER allows her to burst more reliably. And people with less Favonius in the team may need more ER than that. People with more Favonius in the team may need less ER than that. So I think it's valid to have different categories for Zubai based on energy recharge. Examples of characters that I think ER is scam. Let me think.
Rev the engine.
Absorption test.
Laline, East Papa. Pyroclastic surge.
What are the characters that I think ER are scam? There is no ER scamming in Alikino, right? Yeah. Should be. Navia ER is fine. Ganyu ER is fine. Flint's ER is definitely fine. Does Molani have ER? I think it could be argued that Molani ER is fine. Okay, there's none. Kinich ER is not fine, if there's any. Okay, good. There's not. Inefa ER is fine. Risley ER is not fine. Okay, this is scam. This is scam, fully scam. If we don't have enough ER on Risley, we just bust every other rotation instead. Never should not have ER, alright. Versa ER is fine. Ito ER is needed. Zuba ER is fine. ER is needed. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be ER, but yeah, makes sense. Yeah, pretty much. I only see Risley ER being scammed here. I don't think there's really anyone else. Oh yeah, and Yaimiko. Scam found need. 4 rolls on rate and 1 on damage. Gotcha. On the piece, you have 16 crit rate. Gotcha. The purpose of different ER is that to put people at different ER at different category. Like the people who need 110 ER should not compete with the people who need 0 ER, because their team building is different and they need that amount of ER for their character to function. I think fundamentally that is an okay concept. It works for some characters, it does not work for some characters, and the ones that I found scammy, I pointed out. Will wheelchair to Celestia? Check the buff, Aoife buffs. Oh yeah.
Bring it.
Aoife style of sword, let's go!
Wrath from the sky.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Oh yeah, that can work. I thought Aoife is kind of more electro charge at base. Rescue Essential increase the sword, electric charge, and lunar charge. Oh! Nice! I never knew that he's also sword, enhancing sword. I thought it's just electric charge and lunar charge. Well, that's gonna be interesting. He's gonna have an okay role. So what are we playing? With Aoife? Aoife, Sitlali, Odette, Sucrose. Probably, if you want to play Aoife. This is low-key. Okay. You still have to open your first teleport on a new map. Well, don't ask me. Go ahead and do that. Because I would not be able to tell you any experience about that at all. Okay. Is that Sandroni leaderboard? Yes, there is. There is a Sandroni leaderboard, which is surprisingly quick. How many tabs do I have opened? Sandroni leaderboard.
Exploration and trials. Adventuring is right up my alley.
Alright, chat, let's do one of these. Let's do a yap about what's the meta is gonna be in 7.0. If all the characters are going to be released at the current state of the beta, how would the meta in 7.0 is gonna look like? So I've done a few calculations on the matter. Sandroni teams, Travelers teams. Cryo Traveler is gonna be a force to be reckoned with. Mizuki's team. I've done Sino teams, and I think some other people have done Risley team. I've yet to do that myself, but we can just lean on their results. So it's good to mention to people what are the good characters right now and where they are standing. The best DPSs in the games right now are the followings: the Lunakas, Mavuika and Skirk, Sandroni, Vaka and Lohan. Now there is a varying different level of where they stand. Zubai, if you want to bat it look at C6, it's gonna be close to 170 or 180,000 DPS right now. Nefer is around 160, Flames around something where between 140 to 150. Mavuika and Skirk, if you play that combo and you have a C0 team for them, if you play that combo well, it's 140. If you don't play that combo well, it's 120. Right now, Sandroni is around 130, Vaka's around 130, and 130 if you have C6 Prune. Lohan's also around 130. Next patch, we're gonna have a few changes. A Sandroni team with Yaimiko, Odette, which is a new character from 7.0, and Escofia. Yaimiko notably is C1 in here because her constellation is free from the constellation selector. This team is 170, which is reaching around Zubai's level with Ilua C6. Now if we use this team with Alyosha C6, it's gonna be 185,000, which is a tiny bit better than Zubai with Ilua C6. So we have our instance of a tiny bit of power creep, but I would caution everyone that this is a Sneshnia DPS numbers without the Cryo Archon. Maybe the Cryo Archon is gonna bring the ceiling up further. So I am still thinking that power creep is only going up. Now, alongside with the bad news, there are some nice news. Traveler, Cryo Traveler specifically, which I call CMC, which stands for Cryo Main Character, it's gonna be pretty strong. So a team of just Cryo Traveler replacing Sandroni. So Cryo Traveler, Yamiko C1, Odette, and Escovia. Cryo Traveler is gonna be conservatively calculated at C2 because I'm assuming that Traveler's constellations will open more as the exploration and as the main Archon quest progress. We're gonna have more of Traveler constellations. So at 7.0, I'm only assuming Traveler C2, and Traveler is gonna have the free 5-star sword only at R3, but at maximum level possible. This team is 140,000. Now I would like to remind everyone that 140,000 is the level of Mavuika and Skirk. If you do their try-hard combo, it's slightly better than Lohan and Varka. Better than Sandroni right now, but Sandroni next patch gonna be here anyway, at the top. Also around the level of Flints. That's Cryo Traveler. That's Traveler. Traveler without Yamiko with Escovia. Here you go. Well, I do have a version with Alyosha because we need Alyosha for Electro. Cryo Traveler is Cryo. If we use Chi-Chi or Escovia, that's a Cryo slot. If we use Odette, that's a Cryo slot. So we need an Electro slot for Stellar Superconduct to happen. With C2 Alyosha, this is a 92,000 DPS team. Now if you want to bat C6 Alyosha, this is a 109,000 DPS team, which is way below the likes of Mavuika, Skirk, Varka, Lohan. Yamiko is an important character in a Traveler DPS team. If you zoom in and look at the damage contribution, Traveler is doing around 979,000 damage overall around 18 seconds, while Yamiko from off-field is doing 873,000 damage. If we don't have Yamiko, we're missing out on this. It's gonna be a similar story-ish for Risley and Sino. I do not have Risley calculations here, but I can show you from something from someone else. I don't know if this is from Frost. I don't know if the person has published any later calculations regarding the matter. Maybe not 100% up to date. Here we go. This is from Frost. Risley, Yamiko, Odette, Escovia. Escovia, well, Yamiko is a significant part of the team's damage. Not that far behind Risley, and this is around 160, close to 170,000 team, DPS team. A version of this team with Nicole is 160,000 for Risley. I think if I use my assumptions to calculate Risley, the numbers might be around 5 to 10,000 DPS lower, because I usually assume things a little bit more cautious and pessimistic than other people when they're doing calculations. A Sino team is around 133, 137,000 for me. 133 with Alyosha C2, 137 with Sucrose, and if we have Alyosha C6, we're at 167,000. Compared to Sandroni with Alyosha C2 is 154 compared to 133. Sandroni with Alyosha C6 is 185 compared to 167. Sino unfortunately do not benefit a lot from Escofia because Escofia reduce enemy resistance to cryo specifically. So for the team without Yamiko, I use Chi here. 89,000. What if we skip Yai and all in for C2 Odette and get Alyosha C6? 150,000, 151,000. Reminder that skipping Yamiko and getting C2 Odette is getting an extra 5-star compared to just getting Yamiko and Odette. There is something else as well worth seeing. Oh, I need to recalculate Sandroni's Stellar Sword team because we do have a change to some artifact stuff. I need to recalculate. Okay. We're gonna table this. Let's recalculate Mizuki and Sandroni. Let's recalculate them. Do we have time to burst on Yamiko and CMC team? It's still a DPS loss. I believe it's a DPS loss. Her burst is Dark Water. Her burst does not do any stellar superconduct damage, and just regular electro damage is not really worth using. Yeah, it doesn't feel like Yamiko is getting replaced. I'm going to look at a Sandroni team first, then I'll look at the Mizuki team later. So they have fixed the artifact set for Stellar Sword team so that we can actually use it for Sandroni now. Instead of having to do some weird Vides and Veneer Sandroni. What is it called? Crimson Proof. Crimson Proof. And what else does it give? I'm gonna look at the artifact description real quick. Oh, it's Scarlet Proof now. Alright, fine. Let's change it. It's called Scarlet Proof now. Triggering Stellar Sword reaction increase the character's attack and Stellar Sword. Wait, what? Where's the change then? Is it not reflected in text and it's just a gameplay change? Hold on. Alyosha 3 apps per 4 seconds, 1 app per 2 seconds. Oh my god, are they nerfing Alyosha further? Non-stellar charge attack will fire 1 core. Oh! You know what? They're nerfing CMC. Never mind, chat. They're nerfing Traveler, chat. They are nerfing Traveler. Alright, hold on. Hold on. Scratch that. Scratch that. They're nerfing Traveler. They are nerfing Traveler. Non-stellar charge attack will fire. Oh, Well, okay, not that much, not that much. Okay, I read it wrong. It's not that much. Yeah, it's okay. It's not that much. Oof, it's not that much. They're only nerfing the cryo damage and not the stellar damage. So, it's whatever. The stellar damage is where the big juice is at. Alyosha nerf though, it does matter. 1 app per 2 seconds. 2 stacks. It's okay. It's a tiny bit worse. It's everything combined makes this character not that amazing. This is a tiny bit worse. Can now buff Stellar Sword. Add Stellar Sword. Can now be triggered by dealing Stellar Sword damage. Well, what does that? How does that make sense, Ronnie? How does that make sense, Ronnie? Is Alyosha I know? It's still not I know. I would say Alyosha is kind of Goro. Alyosha is kind of... Oh, you know what? I have the perfect analogy. Alyosha is... Where is she? Where is she? Alyosha is Yehoda. Does nothing until C6, and at C6 have some uses and a healer. Well, in the case of Alyosha, there is no electro sucrose, so for now we're gonna use Alyosha C6 if we have Alyosha C6. It's just unfortunate for Yehoda that there's a sucrose in the game, but the strength of Alyosha C6 should be somewhat around Yehoda C6. There's just no electro sucrose in the game right now. Is he weaker than C6 in lower? 6 is lower, guys. It's kind of hard to compare. What is the power of C6 in lower again? Let me double check. What is the power of C6 in lower? C6 in lower is 10% crit rate. Total power. 30% crit damage. 80 EM. Quills. For on-fielder. Off-field app. Zero damage. Yeah, that's all he does. He does not heal. Alyosha. C6. How much? %48 attack. %40 stellar damage. 100 EM. Off-field app. Heal. Now how good are these? I'm gonna say 50 crit value. These are kind of equal. This is a little bit less than a crit damage goblet or circlet. This is about equal to a sans. Attack sans, but crit is more valuable than this. I would say this is equal to this. This is close enough to this. So it's basically coming down to whether the stellar damage percent and quills for the on-fielder, how you compare those. I guess it's kind of comparing this. We kind of have to compare apple to orange here. It's hard. You know what? I'm gonna say they are somewhat similar. They feel somewhat similar. Oh, 200 defense? Right. For on field. How much is 200 defense? How much 200 defense? I have zero clue. Doesn't seem that consequential. So Zubai has around, I'll say, okay, 960 defense. And 200 defense is what? That's 21% defense. 200 defense is 21% defense. And a defense stance is 58.3%. Okay. Fuck. Hold on. This is 1/3 of a defense stance. 200 defense is 1/3 of a defense stance. This is not nothing. It's not nothing. If we ignore the heal in terms of meta discussion, casual playing should not ignore the heals, but if we just ignore the heal for meta stuff discussion and say we just reset if we die, I think Illua C6 is a tiny bit bigger than Alyosha C6. Actually, this is just feels. This is vibe crafting. This is not. This is absolutely not based on any numbers. Because we are kind of stun locked on comparing this to this. I can definitely try to put some numbers down, but I think that's too much effort. I'm just gonna vibe it and say that this feels a little bit weaker than this. Elo quills are only good for Zubai. 40% stellar damage is good for any stellar DPS. Yeah, I agree. Now, it's probably just gonna be a cryo stellar DPS or an electro stellar DPS though. Wait, does it say stellar superconduct specifically? Oh, Stellar's conduct DPS damage specifically. So it's good for 2 characters in the game. 3 at most. We're gonna have Sandrone, we're gonna have a Electro Stellar conduct DPS probably, and we have Traveler. So this is good for 3 characters in the game. It's more than Zubai. You need some help? How so? It is for the entire team. It is for the entire team. So that is where it's hard to evaluate. How much quill for the on-fielder has to be to compare to buff for the entire team? How much buff for the on-fielder has to be comparable to buff for the entire team? I don't know. Probably twice as good? Maybe? Because the on-fielder is generally around or more than half of the team's DPS. That's okay. You get that is a fun exercise. I don't plan to go fully into comparing Illua C6 to Alyosha C6. I would say just from vibes, Alyosha C6 seems weaker than Alyosha C6. If it was yesterday, I'd say Alyosha C6, Alyosha C6 is equal, but he's been nerfed a little bit. Should you pull for Sandroni? You don't have Yai and you have premium Skirk team. No. I'll say right now, no. That's two big reasons I'm not pulling for Sandroni. Have Skirk, premium. And do not have Yai. If you only have one of those reasons, then we're gonna consider things. If you have both of those reasons, full on. Skip her. Now, of course, if you want to be all-encompassing and all prepare for every shield possible, then there can be a reason to get her. But since you are asking, I assume you don't have infinite funding. Those are very compelling reasons to just skip Sandroni. Yeah, you're welcome. Let me finish this calculation on Sandroni's Stellar Sword real quick. 40% stellar damage. Scarlet proof. 40%. Well, yeah. Okay. That's okay. It's not amazing. I think the Traveler should be holding the support set in here, and Sucrose will be holding Viridescent Veneer. That's the logical one. Who would hold Tenacity? Would Traveler hold Tenacity or Odette hold Tenacity? I think Traveler will hold the support set. And Sucrose is going to hold VV. And if she's holding VV, she's gonna get 40%. Or what? How much is it? 20%? 20% Stellar Sword damage increase. That doesn't look that great. It doesn't look that great. Yeah, it's okay. Sandroni's Stellar Sword team is currently lacking some good buffer right now. This feels weird. Yeah, Sandroni's Stellar Sword team is probably lacking someone that can fill Traveler slot, maybe do a bit more damage, maybe buffing the team a bit more. I think that's probably what it is. And her Stellar Sword team is definitely nowhere equal to her Stellar Conduct team right now. Has just joined. What has changed? Alyosha is nerfed. Odette C1 is buffed. There are some changes to make the Stellar Sword set a bit more easy to use. So I'm checking some Mizuki and Sandroni stuff. Okay. Sucrose gonna hold Venus and Veneer. This is 162. This is what? 112. This is no. Crimson Proof. Okay. Hello, Rimmerose. Remove this bit. Remove this bit. And removing this. $12, 10, 8. Good. So did we lose damage after everything? Not really. It's somewhat the same. Yeah, it's a tiny bit of damage loss, actually. So Mizuki C0, I have at 900. 111. 164. 100. 111. C6 Mizuki equal 164. Okay. C2 Mizuki equal to 125k. Bit weaker. Let's fix this as well. Do you build Mizuki triple EM and crit? EM crit. Yes. Does this set work from off-field? I have to ask some people. Does this set work from off-field? It should, right? What if Mizuki C2? Oh, it does not. Okay. What if Mizuki C2 Odette, R0 Sucro C6 and Frozen? I have not tried that yet. But if you're gonna replace someone, you're gonna replace Sucrose, not Traveler. Traveler is good. Chi, Stellar Sword, Stellar Support. Oh, this is actually not too bad, I guess. Okay, not too bad. Okay, yeah. Okay, I need to do something. Control F, find Crimson Proof. Replace all of that with Scarlet Proof. Is there anything? Replace everything? No, hold on. Fine. This is taking a while. This team with C2 Mizuki, how much DPS? Give me a moment. I'm currently being stun locked by this. Bro. I'm being stun locked. Okay, so basically they said there's nothing, right? Replace. Where is this? Scarlet Proof. Replace. 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 Is that everything? I think that's everything. Cool. Holy crap, that took a little bit. So this team, not this team, the one with Chi-Chi, CMC, Sucrose, this team, C2, is 113. There. C0 Mizuki 84, C1 Mizuki 100, C2 Mizuki 113, C6 Mizuki 149. The one with Odette is at GG. C0 Mizuki 100, C1 Mizuki 111, C2 Mizuki 125, C6 Mizuki 164. Hope that answers your question. Sandrone Stellar Sword is 1
This world is full of unsolved mysteries.
I hear you've got a job for me.
C6 Alyosha versus C6 Traveler, which is better? They are not compatible. You're comparing apple and orange. Traveler in Stellar Superconduct is an on-field DPS. Alyosha is a support and healer. Traveler is only a support in Stellar Swarm. What's the rotation again? Let's try again. Alyosha got 2% nerf at C2 and 4% nerf at C6. That's my result too, yes. Is there a way Yai gets kicked out by Sarisa if she only buffs stellar characters? Only if she buffs specifically Snatch Naya characters. And then it's still rough. Basically, we are figuring out a way that Sarisa can buff Alyosha without buffing Yai Miko. Because that's the competition. If we're gonna kick Yai Miko, we're gonna put Alyosha in. So we have to design a Sarisa kit that makes Alyosha better and buff more? That is not possible because Alyosha does not buff based on his personal stat. Sarisa could have a racist passive that says if the team is made up entirely of Snatch Naya characters, Sarisa will buff the entire team more. She could do that. And how much stock you put into that, that's up to you. Why is everyone freaking out? It's just a 4% nerf at C6. I'm not. I'm loving it. I think that is a more balanced character. The change from C0 to C6 is a little bit less big. And they are compensating by buffing Odette's Constellation C1. So if you're gonna go all the way to Odette's C2 to get Alyosha C6, you're gonna get the same deal. Because you get a buffed Odette and you get a nerfed Alyosha. At C0 of Alyosha, we would just not use him, like before.
Lights out. A new dawn rises!
Absorption test. Turn that frown upside down. Cast your worries to the wind.
I need infinite energy. Sarisa in racist, she just favors comrades more. Yes. I'm not racist, I just favor Asian people more.
Scorching fall! by everlasting
Time to relax. Bad dreams be gone. Animal testing. Judgment. Punishment.
Yeah! A new dawn!
Absorption test. Turn that frown upside down. Yachan, Tachan, let's go! Animal testing. Yeah! Lights out.
Scorching fall by everlasting
Swirl, work. Sweet dreams. Cast your worries to the wind.
That was an 18-second rotation.
You can't run.
Oh god. Hold on. Okay, let's start with this.
Yeah! Punishment. Absorption test. Turn that frown upside down. Bad dreams be gone. Animal hypostasis. Shiver.
time to ignite! A new
Sweet dreams. Cast your worries to the wind. Lights out.
scorching fall!
Swirl, whip. Yachan, Tachan, let's go. Stay clear. Shiver.
A new dawn rises!
Animal testing secret. Bad dreams be gone. Animal hypostasis and judgment. Lights out.
Time to ignite by everlasting flame!
Stay clear. Time to relax. Cast your
This team rotation is about 19 seconds to 20 seconds for me. I'm gonna do a few more rotations to make sure.
absorption test. Yeah. Punishment.
A new dawn rises!
Swirl, work two. Sweet dreams. Yachan, Tachan, let's go.
Probably 19 seconds.
You can't run. Shiver. Animal testing. Time to relax. Bad dreams be gone. Enhanced animal modules. Judgment. Lights out.
Scorching fall by everlasting flame!
Absorption test. Turn that frown upside down.
Okay, last one.
Tachan, let's go.
I'm fine with having a 19.5 second rotation here.
Stay clear. Yeah. Shiver.
Let's go with that. Is Mizuki the new best DPS? Doesn't seem so from my testing. Okay, we're gonna need to input a few more seconds in here because the team's definitely not rotating this fast. I think Mizuki is actually an 11-second girly on field. That's seems fine by me. So C6 Mizuki is 182. C2 Mizuki is 136. 182. 136. C1 Mizuki is 121 and C0 Mizuki is 106. Okay, let's change the team with Chi-Chi Traveler as well. So I'm gonna go with Traveler taking 3.5 seconds. Mizuki taking 11 seconds. Sucrose taking 2.5 seconds. This taking 1 second. Okay. C6 Mizuki is 149. Okay, it's the same as before, not the other team. 113. Yeah, okay. Yeah, if you count C6 Mizuki, she still reached 185k, but a more realistic Mizuki is C1 Mizuki 121 or C2 Mizuki 136. So Sandrone is about to equal to, I'm gonna say C1 Mizuki. Why is Pyro Traveler here? Because I don't have access to Cryo Traveler. If you have access to Cryo Traveler, let me know. Mizuki Globe voice sounds unnatural, at least to you. I think she's fine. She is technically she has a British accent, the VA has a British accent, and she has to speak an English accent, so maybe that's why. Have I not counted Sandrone, Cryo MC, Odette, and Sucrose? You mean this? That's 129. What's the mechanic of next stage Stellar boss? Stellar or die. C6000 for who? Instead of who? Instead of Sucrose? We can try that. Reduce animals' resistance. Damage. Animal damage bonus. Okay, some quill. Doesn't matter. %, animal damage, great damage. Okay. Let's check it out. I'm gonna try a version with Frozen for Sandrone, Stellar Sword, and gonna try a version with Frozen for Mizuki, Stellar Sword. It's gonna take a little bit. Alright, real quick. So, to answer the question from before, the Stygian boss, this is what we are dealing with. Affected by Leyline Disorder, this is the Chimera, Winged Lion. Affected by Leyline Disorder, at the start of battle, this enemy will use the power of its Electro Head to create a resilient Electro Ward shield to protect itself. At interval, the other head will channel animal power into its electro great sword to unleash a wide-range electro shockwave. If the nemesis is under the effect of some stellar stuff, its power will be disrupted, causing it to suffer backlash and damaging its ward. So instead of unleashing attack on us, it damages itself if we have stellar stuff. Once the ward is broken through elemental reactions, the nemesis will stop attacking due to exhaustion and become paralyzed. Also, while suffering significant backlash damage based on the damage absorbed by the ward. Stellar burst reaction damage will increase the backlash damage down to the nemesis when the ward is broken. Stellar, more damage. Cryo and Anemo resistance will be decreased. So Stellar and Cryo and Anemo are encouraged. That's the boss. Otherwise, if we don't have those things, we just need to break an electro shield on an enemy that has high electro resistance, high Anemo resistance at base. So technically we can use some pyro stuff, we can use some cryo stuff to break the shield, we can use some dendro stuff to break the shield. It's just not doing as much damage, so we can play something like Mavuika, we can play something like regular Skirk team, that's not stellar conduct. We can play Nefer team and try to break its electro shield, but obviously during it will do quite a bit of damage to us, and breaking the shield will do less damage to it. That's the mechanic of the stellar enemy. 23 million HP, yes, that's dire, and in Fearless it's 10 million, which is still quite a bit. There is an Arlecchino shield boss that gives us Bond of Life. It's kind of similar to the previous Arlecchino shield boss, but a tiny bit different. The previous one was a cryo enemy, this one is a Nemo enemy. This one has high Anemo resistance. And finally, Nako, we know this one. Yeah, I think people can and will likely try to do this with Mavuika. It's probably fine. Just CDC on its electro shield. I expect this to be brute forceable with Mavuika and Skirk. This will need flint stuff, or at the very minimum Inefa. And this, they fix the gene thing. They fix the gene cheese for the boss. So we can not do that anymore. Arlecchino will have a good time with this one, but I think similar to before, Mavuika can brute force it, and because this time it does not have cryo resistance, I think Skirk can also try to brute force it. Anyone else can brute force these. I think Lohan actually is decent against this boss to brute force. I think Nefer can brute force this thing. Nefer can probably also brute force this. How about Zubai? Zubai will have a difficult time against this one. Zubai could brute force this. Yeah. Is Odette a sub DPS? Odette is a kind of half a buffer and half a sub DPS, yes. Mavuika Skirk Evergreen for Station. Well, I would say that the mechanic is doable. The damage you're gonna need to start to have. You're gonna need to have Mavuika or Skirk signature at these points to even do these boss in Fearless reliably, or extremely good artifacts. Like if we're fighting against Shield, it's steadily been getting harder. it still can be done, but we're gonna need some few more constellation or signature weapon on those teams. Okay, let's try to calculate some Fowls and stuff. Will Mizuki clear this in Fearless? Which one? This? None of these are a Nemo shield boss, by the way. I guess this is kind of... I think Mizuki may be able to do this. Mizuki may be able to do this in Fearless. If you have Odette, Mizuki will not do this because it specifically has a Nemo resistance, high Nemo resistance. This one's not a Mizuki boss. I think Traveler will do this in Fearless. Traveler is a Stellar Superconduct DPS with Odette. How many times does... Okay, I need to test some Farzan stuff. I have rarely used Farzan in the past. Have I updated my accounts for Mizuki? I have. And you can check it in the links to all my accounts, which should be... Hold on. Yeah, I'm needing to test some Farzan stuff. What I have right now is Mizuki, CMC, which is Cryo Traveler, Odette, Sucrose. This team at various Mizuki constellation is at these levels. This team without Odette is at this level. Now, I have calculated that with Sucrose, and I'm trying to do a version with
Unlocking that potential takes a keen
Farzan.
sense of smell.
So for that, I do need to test some Farzan stuff. I've never used that character before. I do have a Farzan C6 on this account, so it should help with testing. Just Farzan. I don't care about other stuff.
It's been a while since I've limbered up.
Mizuki C0? Yeah. You have a chance to select an additional Mizuki next patch at 7.0 standard character selector.
Have fun with this gift.
Oh gosh! It can miss? Oh my god, it missed the enemy? Oh god, what is this character? Get me out of here.
We'll see about that. Truth repeats its course.
That's a mess. Does it even hit the enemy? What the hell? Hold on. This is C6 Farzan, right? Hold on. Is it supposed to continuously do damage? I don't think it does, right? What does it even do? Oh, it's not supposed to do damage. Okay, I'm so dumb. Okay. The boss is not supposed to do damage. Okay. Well, it applies an effect to nearby opponents. So that's what it does. It applies the effects. So it still kind of need to hit them. It's not damage, it's a debuff. So I need to pay attention to the debuff effect on the enemy, I guess. And what does a C6 do? When the active character deals damage while affected by Playful Wind's benefit, they will apply Pressurized Collapse to an opponent nearby. This effect can be triggered once every 3 seconds. This CD is shared between all party members. And Pressurized Collapse is a skill, right? Apply Pressurized Collapse effect to this effect will remove other short delay critical vortex that deals AoE or enable damage and pulls nearby opponent in. If the Hurricane Arrow does not hit opponent, Pressurized Collapse will take the point of impact. Modify. Wait. Oh, yeah, sure. Win Secret Way. Okay. This character is okay. Let's grab just any on-fielder. Shichu Mizuki, yep, she's gonna be decently strong. Okay, I need to pay attention to the enemy's debuff thingy.
Have fun with this gift.
It has down arrows, yes. The fact that it can still miss, though, I'm kind of skeptical. What is the duration? When a character deals damage. Okay. What's the duration? Manifest Gale duration 18 seconds. Oh no, that's what? What's the manifest Gale duration? Oh right, jeez, okay. Whirlwind Pulse duration 12 seconds. Perilous Wind's Bale duration. Get me out of here. When the Whirlwind Pulse is unleashed. Dazzling Pyriron. Unleash Whirlwind Pulse and deals AoE enable damage. Spray Wind's benefit duration. Benefit, okay. Paris Wind's Bale duration. Okay. Overall duration 12 seconds. Detail view, I mean, you mean this?
Dare to mess with me, turn repeats its course. Ears of the storm.
4 seconds. Close 6 seconds. Close to 8. Okay, so it pulls every 2 seconds, basically. It applies a debuff every 2 seconds. And I need to recount how many times it does so. The burst duration is extended in one of her constellations. 6 seconds. Okay.
Have fun with this gift.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 times in total. It kind of lasts until 20 seconds there. Kind of lasts until 20 seconds. Okay. It's not terrible, but I also have a problem with the uptime of this is not 100%. Because it debuffs the enemy now. Yeah. If multiple of its pulse are hitting the enemy, then the debuff is applied continuously. So we have to kind of aim it like that. Yeah. But if the debuff is not always hitting the enemy, like that, it's a miss, like that's a miss, this is a hit, then because the debuff duration is only 4 seconds, there are moments when the enemy is not debuffed. You see the debuff? It's gone. It's back. Once again.
We'll see about that. Tears of the storm.
Debuff up. Still up. Gone. Up. Up. Gone. Up. That's very inconsistent. Let me test something.
Have fun with this gift.
I hope this thing works. Oh, that works. Does it? It's so hard to see. So hard to see. The arrows are so small. Oh, that extends it. Does that extend it? Manifest Gale state. Why? Next fully charged attack, normal attack, partisan shot. I am so confused. What part of her kit says it extends it? Yeah. Hello, Aoi. You believe they wanted to make some more universal rather than restrictive or racist? Otherwise, people would be disappointed. That's assuming she's support. I mean, we don't know. They have made Archon restrictive in the past. And they also have made Archons non-restrictive in the past. Just realized we cannot play Skirk on Fachui Operative. Well, Farina's buff will not work, but there's not really any other thing to prevent you from doing that. Just dodge. Just dodge. Bring a shield. Bring Dahlia. think it works. I think it works. I think just applying an additional instance of damage extends the debuff duration. But there's no part in her kits that says that. Yeah, there's zero part in her kits that says that. This is so weird. Yeah, that works. It continues the debuff. Okay, this character is so confusing. Anyhow, I think I have a good baseline to start calculating. I don't think there's anything in her constellations that says that, which is very weird. Anyhow, it's good enough. It's good enough. Okay, now a version of this team with Fowls instead of Sucrose. She's gonna use Sacrificial Bow. Oh no, actually, sorry. Favonius Bow. VV, yes. She takes 2 seconds for her field time. Main stat is going to be... I have no idea. Probably crit rate something. Probably attack. Probably EM is fine too. Okay, let's go with EM for now. C6. Talent level 12. Let's remove every single instance of Sucrose buff in here. And let's add in Farazan's buffing. Her damage 2, skill, burst, pressure like collapse thingy. This hits how many times? 1 time. This hits 1 time. That hits 3 times. Your bet is she's better. Alright, let's see. So, everything combined, she is reducing enemies' animal resistance by 30%. That is nice for this team. Okay. Okay, well, okay. Probably nicer for Mizuki's team. In this team, VV is enough to help Sandrone. Here, 30%, 30%, 30%. Cool. Viridescent Veneer, give her a little bit more buff there. Farazan can hold Tenacity a millilith. So, wait, no. No, she has to hold Viridescent Veneer because she's the only character that can hold Viridescent Veneer. Alright. Farazan does how many instances of damage in total? How many instances of damage? She does 1 with skill cast, 1 with burst cast, and C6 is every 3 seconds. The thing lasts for around 20 seconds, so in total 6 times. Total 8 times. Red Shred 30% for a Nemo. Uh-huh. 4 seconds over a course of this is for 18 for 5 equal to this time divided by 4 seconds. Okay, seems good. Nothing's out of place, and that's everything, right? Oh, crit damage. That's the most important thing. Okay, crit damage, Anemo crit damage. Boom, bum, 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 bum. 40%, 40%, 40%, 40%, 40%, 40%. Only for the Anemo portion of the damage, though, because Sandrone still does cryo damage. It's probably not a lot. Okay. Is there a TTDS somewhere in here? No, no TTDS. Oh, wait, that's actually nicer than Sucrose. Is it? Is it? Hey, hold on. What's the rotation on this? So it's Odette, Fowls, EQ, and then do we want to refresh her stuff for VV? I think we kind of want to refresh her stuff. It's annoying though. Let's not. Let's not. Yeah, no, it's very annoying. We're gonna try a version with refreshing stuff, and we're gonna try a version with not refreshing VV. Not refreshing VV seems ass, actually. That seems ass. Okay. How about refreshing VV then? Refreshing VV, we're gonna add 1 second to this rotation. Okay, that's better. Right. Let's refresh VV. Fowls CA. We're gonna have to add a Fowls charge attack in to refresh VV. Seems to be better though. It's not great gameplay, but it is what it is. Fully charged aim shot. Animal damage. 30%. Boom. Copy paste. 1 charge attack. She also increased some animal damage bonus for the entire team, but it only affects herself in this team. The value is 36% animal damage bonus. 36. Oh, wait, not that. 36. And the part in her passive is increasing animal damage. Okay. That's it. And the final verdict between Odette, Sucrose, or, well, Sandroni with Sucrose, or Sandroni with Farzan is Sucrose wins. Which is expected though. Let's try Mizuki. Remove every trace of Sucrose in here and add Farzan in. Sack, no, not sack, hold on. Fastbow. VV, yes. C6, yes. Crit rate, 36% Anemo. So just everything like before. Burst hit. Pressure collapse. And a charge attack. Is that a hurricane arrow? Is that what it is? Alright. That's whatever. Cry, actually, Anemo damage, Fresh Red, plus 30%. Crit damage, 40%. 1, 1, 3, 1. Fresh Red, plus 30%. Anemo Sword Stuff, 30%. Almost there, chat. Fixing a thing real quick on the other team. One, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's add 40% crit damage to every instance of a Nemo damage in here, which will include... Oh, did I just... Yeah, I did. Okay. Plus 40%. Paste, 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 paste. Paste, 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 paste. %, 40. Is Mizuki C6 buffing this, actually? Mizuki C6 is buffing what? There's also some crit in here. Sword damage, okay. Increased crit rate of Stellar Sword, okay. So not everything. Okay, everything should be working correctly. Okay. That's it, right? Yep. Yep. We got the resistance in. We got... Oh, resistance in here as well. Almost forgot. Resistance on Mizuki stuff. 30%. Boom. 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 Okay, let's check the finalized number. Compared to Sucro's version, Farazan's better. Oh, nice. Okay. Farazan's better. Wait, hold on. Yeah, add a tiny bit of that in there. Let's change the rotation to Farazan EQ, and after Mizuki stuff, it's gonna be Farazan C, charge attack. Let's put this in there. So C0. Move this. C0 is what? 11629. Well, 106k. C1 is 134k. C2 146k. C3, C6 doesn't matter. C6 or C3 to C5 doesn't matter. C6 is what? 197. We are back to our 200,000 C6 chat. Kind of. Let's grab this and put that on showcase. Finally, there's an ESO C6 Farazan. Yeah. Yo. Okay, let's replace Sucrose altogether. Who cares about Sucrose? Copy paste this in here. Yeah, let's keep that for later. 116, 134, 146, 197. So Sandroni is basically equal to Mizuki C1. There we go. Good one, chat. Thanks for making me checking out for C6 for Mizuki. Now, at a realistic level, at C1 Mizuki is still at 134,000 team. At C2 Mizuki is 146,000 team, which is equal to the likes of Mavuika Skirk, Lohan Valka right now. And I think that is a respectable team right there. That does require us to pull for Odette. A version without Odette is basically minus 30,000 everywhere. Basically. Is C6 Aoife good for Stellar Sword? Oh boy, yeah, gonna have to do that too. Now that Aoife is buffed. Man, what team do we use for Aoife now? Aoife, Faruzan, Traveler, Odette. No, hold on. Aoife, Faruzan, do we want the Night Soul passive from Aoife? Do we want Setlali here? I don't think it matters, right? I think I'll calculate Aoife in my own time. We're gonna do something else a little bit. I'll do some other stuff right now. We don't want Setlali, you're skipping her? Uh-huh, of course. Still a little bit of farming here. So Aoife has a passive that encourage having another Night Soul character in his team, which in the past has been encouraging Auroron with him. And in the Stellar Sword team, we do not have any other... Well, we do have Chaska, but Chaska will want to be on field instead and does not have anything to work especially well with Stellar Sword. So the only remaining character in Natlan that can play in a Stellar Sword team is Setlali, who's Cryo. We got grabbing random characters from the past and buffing them into power creep. I think that is... This is a pretty nice artifact. I think that is fine. Better to just have a character from the past and buff them rather than having a new character to be strong. If I have to choose one between the two, I would choose buffing the characters from the past. Zoro, now! Now! Let me roll it first. Alright, after I'm done farming this, we're gonna finish our meta discussion for 7.0. Since we now kind of have a better understanding of Mizuki and Sandroni in Stellar Sword, so we can finish that part. There's a chance. There is a chance. One, two, three, 4, 5 and a half with substat. Recharge is decent though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna count this as 6. I'm gonna count this as half. 6.5. I'll give it 6.5 points. I'm gonna need this to go into grid. basically every single time for this to be worth. Well, no. 4 times. I'm gonna need it to go into grid 4 times. It's still an onset piece. Okay, nice. Fuck. Nice. Nice. Fuck! God, why does it do with me like that? I mean, it's usable. It's usable. Oh, right. Yeah, you were not seeing it, but yeah, it was going into HP a few times. Reroll? A reroll? Hold on. I'll check something first. Yeah, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 grid subs. That is also 5 grid subs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do I have an off piece that's worth putting this on? I need to start this. This is nice, but is there anything better? I will reroll. Okay. I don't think this is worth enough for me to reroll. Yeah, I don't think this is worth enough for me to reroll. I am willing to reroll this though. One, two, three, four, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. This or this? I mean, they are kind of the same. Which has higher rolls? Which one has higher rolls? Which one has higher base rolls? That's important. Okay. I'm gonna figure out which one has higher base rolls here by just doing this. Five substat piece. And you agree not worth rerolling? Yeah. It has double crit, but it does not have the other stuff like recharge or elemental mastery. What I'm doing right now is I'm just trying to figure out which among the 2 circlet is worth more to reroll, and I'm doing that by putting my characters on NK network with those 2 pieces specifically, to see which one has a better starting point. So this, the starting point of this is 3 dots on the first grid and 2 dots on the first defense. The starting point of the other piece is 3 dots on defense and 2 dots on grid. I would go with the piece with 3 grid rate. Alright, let's roll it. Let's re-roll the piece that Zuba is currently holding. Do I need the DPS increase right now? You are right. But I'm also an addict. I see this piece and I cannot not re-roll it. Hold on. Let's do it. Fuck! It's better. It's barely better. I'll take that. Sure. Sure. Yeah, sure. 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 In flat defense we trust. In flat defense we trust. Alright, good one, Ted. Good one. Alka up! Alka up! Right now! So the previous build was at 4%. Top 4%. Okay. 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 Now! Wait, where's the refresh? Now! It is still top 4%! Fucking dog shit. Moving on. Moving on. Did anyone check? Was it actually better at least? The ranking? Oh well. So that's enough of that. Let's continue. Let's finish our thought regarding the meta in 47.0. 39 to 49. Alright. Good one. Good one. Thank you. So, we have our result. Let's use the old one. Good one. Alright, so where were we before? Okay. Yeah, Sandrone stuff. So this, we were mentioning before that Sandrone is getting into slightly better than Zebai territory if we want to assume C6 Alyosha and C6 Ilua. If we want to assume C2 Alyosha, then Sandrone is about somewhat close to Zebai. In terms of, there is another archetype that's going to be available for Sandrone from 7.0, which is Stellar Sword. Now, Stellar Sword Sandrone is missing a Stellar Sword Yaimigo. So this team is not performing as well, and it's currently at 129,000 DPS. I tried the version with Farazan, it's actually a little bit lower for Sandrone. And this is equal to Mizuki C1. Oh yeah, have I told you about Mizuki? Mizuki! With CMC, Cryo Traveler, Odette, and Farazan at C6. It's close to 200,000 DPS. We all know that C6 Mizuki, it's zero cost. So there's your batting, there's your glazing of the day. Now a more realistic Mizuki is probably Mizuki C1 or Mizuki C2. And that's actually pretty decent as well. This is around the power level of Mavuika, Skirk, Lohan, and Barca right now. So, if you have a Mizuki C2 or Mizuki C1, And if you get an Odette from next patch, this is an entirely available team. You love my counts? Thank you. Yeah, hopefully that is helpful for you. Now, Mizuki without Odette, I still need to do a calculation with Fowls, but I think it's gonna be a tiny bit better. It's around this level with Sucrose. C0 Mizuki is at 84,000. C1 Mizuki 100, C2 Mizuki 113, and C6 Mizuki is 149. So that is kind of important here. I would say if this level is maintained out of beta when beta is done, I would say Odette is a valuable character to get going into Snezhnaya, just going from the number stuff. Just getting Odette, we will be able to make a stellar sword team with Mizuki, and we are also able to make a stellar superconduct team with Traveler and Yaimiko. Well, now that also requires having a Yaimiko. That team is also hovering at 140,000. So if you have the pieces to the puzzle, you're gonna be able to clear some shield in Stygian for a few patches at least, with just Odette. There is a counter argument though to getting Odette. Odette is looking like a Silonan of Snezhnaya. Is somewhat of a jack of all trades that's nice to have earlier on, but later on she may get slightly power crit by a more specific support. You could go with it from that angle too. Because Odette right now, I'm gonna point out two things that people may find disconcerting or somewhat alarming. This is a team of Sandroni, Yaimiko, Odette, and Alyosha. You're gonna see that Yaimiko is doing significantly more damage than Odette. They both provide buffing. Both of them provides buffing. Yaimiko provides 40% stellar damage. Odette provides something also around 40, I think, 60% stellar damage. Both for the entire team. This doesn't really look that good for Odette. And there's another comparison I made. For the premium team, if we kick out Alyosha, we're fine. 171. If we kick out Odette, we're at 159. And if we kick out Yaimiko, we're at 149. So kicking out Odette is still giving us a higher result than kicking out Yaimiko. That means Yaimiko is a more valuable character for Sandroni's Stellar Conduct team than Odette. In both cases, I just replaced Escofia with the characters that's been kicked out. Looking at it differently, if we don't have Odette, we still do more damage than if we don't have Yaimiko. Here's another thing. Here's another insult to the wound. In a team of Mizuki, Traveler, Odette, and Farazan, Traveler C2 is doing more damage than Odette. They both provide buffing. Traveler is providing a bit less buffing than Odette. But when you look at this, you can see that, yeah, Odette is not that girl. She's a nice character to have. She is also looking a bit shaky. So I would say if you want a character that's efficient to deal with a lot of shield right now, you can get Odette. If you're looking to maximize your team strength and you're willing to venture into the unknown because we don't know who's gonna release after these, sure, you can wait. What about the VV nerf? Taken into account. A VV is no longer a set that can be used on a DPS anymore. So Mizuki is using the new Stellar Sword DPS set, and Sandroni is using the new Stellar Sword DPS set. Yeah, you can wait. I will also say that if you have a Skirk premium team, if you're already invested in the Skirk premium team, I think Sandroni, it's also looking quite shaky for you, probably. If you already have a strong cryo team, it can be likely going to be a Skirk premium team. But if you invest in C6, Escovia, or something, play with your Ayaka C6 team, sure. If you already have a strong cryo team, you can afford to wait a little bit more into Snatch Naya meta to see who is stronger and who's worth the getting to you. So those are the purely meta advice I can give right now, and of course none of us is making decisions purely based on meta. I am specifically waiting to do Sandroni quest to see if I come to like her more for my pooling decision. Oh, for Sandroni, yeah. So you have C0R1 Skirk and C0R1 Escovia. You might be better pulling for Skirk or Escovia Cons, just one con. Skirk C2. Escovia Con is kind of nice. Actually, I'm gonna leave Zoro to answer you on that. I think he knows more about Skirk stuff. I think Escovia C1 is kind of nice too, actually. There was that one Jamie's investment sheet for Skirk, right? If I can find it. Alright, I found it. Looks like Escovia C1's winning by a tiny bit compared to Skirk C1.
An important part of cooking is making sure the ingredients absorb the flavors.
Yeah, I don't specifically calculate that. So feel free to use other people's stuff. Use other people's calculation. That's made already. I think a lot of people have already done that. Jamie is one of them, and I can share the sheet for you, the one that I just opened. Should be in Discord, but also here. Made by Jamie. This guy. Cool. Okay, I think we're done with all the beta stuff for today, and that's also gonna conclude my stream for today. I'm gonna try to look for any errors with the Fowls calculation because I did that very quickly on stream. See if I miss anything. The numbers may change slightly in a few days. If I find any error on my sheet, I'll update it constantly. Once again, you can find my sheets. There's a link of that in every of my YouTube video. I should make a link of that to my Twitch stuff too. Hold on. I'm gonna do that off stream. Odette. Oh, Teams Bush sheet. Yep. You can go to here for a link to all of my sheets in the past and in the future. so you don't have to look for my new sheets. If you just bookmark this link or save it wherever you want, put it in a note or something, then you can access to my Odette sheet, my Sandrone sheet from last patch, my Nicole sheet from last patch, and any future sheet I have in here, I'm also gonna update here. There you go. Yeah, with that, that's gonna be goodbye for now, chat. Scoville will be greeting us off today. You know what? I'm gonna have to leave that to Skunk. Skunk's gonna greet us off today. Whee! Have a rest of your great day, chat, and I'll see you around. On Wednesday, we're gonna be doing some event shenanigans, doing some Sandrone quest. Gonna be a chiller day before we get back to some station stuff. Until then, chat. Music.